Hey everyone. Today I wanted to share with you how I make my salsa flax crackers. I just got this idea of adding salsa to it. And you could use either like a mild or a spicy salsa, and you could also use a chipotle salsa, which I'll show you. So I've done flax crackers and chips and corn chips and all this in my dehydrator in the past, but I'm doing kind of the between Hyper-Nourishing and Good By Lupus protocols. And she does have a flax cracker recipe in here. I believe she shared this with the whole public. So she has 2 cups of flax seeds, 1 cup of water, a half a cup of Bragg's liquid aminos. So my adjustment that I'm going to make is I'm using a cup of corn, GMO free and organic if possible. And I'm substituting for 1 cup of the flax. So I'll still have 1 cup of flax, 1 cup of non-GMO corn. And then I'm going to be using 1/3 cup of salsa or chipotle salsa per batch. And then there's this Mexican fiesta spice. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix all the ingredients in the Vitamix. She says mix them in a bowl, but I just put them right on into the Vitamix and let them sit in the Vitamix until they become a gel. And then I'm going to add all my other ingredients in there, and then I'm going to zhuzh it. I'm going to blend it, and then we're going to go ahead and use a spatula to spread the thin layer of the combo, the mixture, on each sheet. And she says about 1 to 2 millimeters thick. What happens is if you go thin, they are a nice little crunchy chip. They break easy, and that's very nice. If you want it a little thicker like a cracker, you can make it a little thicker. And then it holds more salsa or guacamole on your cracker or your chip. So then you're going to dehydrate. She says check every couple of hours in her book, but in other areas, I've seen her say dehydrate for 5 hours on 115 degrees, and that's worked for me. And then you flip it over and you dehydrate for 1 to 2 more hours, and then they're usually done. On this recipe, she says the drying time is usually around 12 hours, but check them regularly and remove them when they easily break and are dry inside. So we'll see how it goes with my little variations. She likes things fast and super easy, so I understand. If I were in a hurry, then I would definitely just do a really fast version. So I like to reduce the liquid aminos a little bit, just maybe do a little dash in there so that it has a little bit of the salt kick, but I don't do her, is it a tablespoon? Oh, yeah, she does a half a cup of Bragg's liquid aminos or use salt to taste. So that half a cup in that big whole batch, it was just too much for me. It's too much, like, oh, too much salt. So I had to reel that in a bit. So I've loaded my ingredients in and showed you the ingredients. So I've got the flax and water gel mixture in here. There you go. It's just very goopy, right? Got these cool camp colanders from a friend. They go down to totally flat, which is awesome for when you just have a limited amount of space you're working with. So I was soaking the corn because it was coming from frozen. And I would imagine that her GLP protocol would be to use actual raw corn, which I am not to the point where I'm using totally raw vegetables other than lettuces and tomatoes and this type of stuff for salad. I just use the frozen stuff. If it comes to be that it's a hindrance to my healing, and the Lord reveals that to me, then I would switch. But for right now, it's doing okay. So I'm adding the corn into my mixture here. You can kind of see If you have other blenders, NutriBullet, I think a NutriBullet could handle it. And a Ninja, I think a Ninja could handle it. And grinding up all this flax. I'm gonna do this time a third cup of the mild salsa in this mixture. And I do Thrive Market. I'll put my link below if anyone wants. I find these are pretty much the cheapest prices around. And if you spend $49, you've got free shipping. So I am still liking. I love their options. They even have the chips Grant likes and some of the things that he likes as well. So it works out as a win-win. Here's Cocoa Aminos from Thrive Market. And I will just do the dash of saltiness there. Just if we need the tamper or what. And we are learning in the RV what we can run at the same time. Like, can we run the Vitamix, the dehydrator? Sometimes we can run two of these kind of workhorses at the same time. But if you put on the AC, suddenly it goes dark. We have to run to the barn and fix it. Okay, so let's show you. Got everything in there, the batter. Just gonna load up the Teflon sheets, spread that around, and get it in the dehydrator. The Mexican Fiesta spice for when you're doing the Mexican flavor. And if you're doing the chipotle flavor, then you could use smoked paprika and you could use crushed red pepper on top. Yum. So I'm just spreading. And this takes a couple minutes, so you're just spreading it out. Spread out your batter. And if I don't want to be tempted to eat my hubby's yummy potato chips, which are also decent, they only have 3 ingredients. They're the Boulder chips that you can get on Thrive Market. How cool is that? Which we started doing. But if I don't want to be tempted to eat those yummy but sometimes painful to me chips, then I need to keep on top of having my own chips ready. And if I will take the time, usually once a week, if I make a batch, then I will store them. Debbie Meyer green boxes, whatever size I need, and just keep them in my pantry here. Isn't that so cute? I love my pantries. I'm so thankful for pantries. And then if I want a little grab and go bag, I'll just save one of my prior bags. These were really yummy, by the way. They're everything crackers, everything flats, Ella's flats, and they're the everything flavor. They are not on the GLP protocol though, so I just saved the bag. They would be fine for the Hyper-Nourishing program if you're just doing the smoothies with the proper protocol in the water. So I just saved the bag so I have a little grab and go when I'm loading up like a little backpack of stuff, which happens quite often. I'm amazed at how often I need to have a little grab and go, Wednesday night church, going to friends' houses. I went to a game party, a really fun game party, and if I 9 times out of 10, which is okay, it's just how it is, 9 times out of 10, there is not food for me to eat. So there might be one thing like guacamole or something that I could have, which is awesome. Thank you, Lord, for that. But so I just am in the habit, absolutely, of bringing a little backpack cooler, which is super cute. So I just want to feel my best, that I'm able to, by the grace of the Lord, do the things that He's called me to do and to enjoy as well. The things in my life that I want to enjoy still, And I've been listening to this thing where I want to be like Moses, up on the mountaintop with Grant up in our 120s. We'll be, oh, Sunny Boy. No, not really, right? We'll be, that was Yenta from The Fiddler on the Roof, who I played in a play. But anyway, and I was quite young when I played that role. It was funny. I always knew I'd make a good granny, a good grandma. So here we go. So here's one sheet. So this is the air fryer, but it can also dehydrate. So my hubby will pull this down and he'll use it for air frying, whatever he likes. And it's also rotisserie and a dehydrator. Super cool. It is the Bella Pro Series model. So I don't have to bust out my big dehydrator all the time, except when I want to make the flax crackers, flax chips, whatever. After he's done doing his, if I just want to warm up my soup or whatever, I can put it on 115 degrees on his dehydrator mode, which is double thumbs up, right? And I don't have to pull out the whole big dehydrator to do it. Yay! We love that. Second sheet going in. And now, just to change it up a little bit on this last one, I am going to add in some of the chipotle flavors with the smoked paprika I mentioned. And I don't think I'm going to add, there's only a third of the batter left, so I'm going to do just 2 heaping tablespoons. And let's see if I can just hand mix it. Ooh, and keep it kind of exciting instead of all ground down. Let's try that. Now I'm thinking about if this would be considered on her Hyper-Nourishing program. I think it would be fine. And then on her GLP program, the only thing I think the issue would be is the corn raw versus when it's frozen. And so I'm going to add a little more, a couple dashes of, so there's like one, couple shakes of the smoked paprika flavor. So we'll just have some variation here. And this might be 1 tray. It might be a little more. We'll see. So same thing. It doesn't look much different, except it's got chunky tomatoes in there from this salsa. Okay. This is the more chipotle version with just hand mixed chipotle salsa. And now I am going to set it to 115 degrees for 5 hours. I'm excited. Yum. So I have a quick tip for you to clean your blender after this gooey mess. So I'm taking the blender, I'm loading it full of water. You could use a little soap or not, it's up to you. I'm going to make a smoothie next, so I don't really want my smoothie to taste like Chipotle. That'd be a little weird. So put the lid on and just blend it for not even a minute, depending on your blender, I suppose. And then you can go ahead and dump that out. And then you have less cleanup to do. I still will probably go in and just get the extra, whatever's kind of sticky off. So my goal on making the flax chips this morning is that I will have some tonight to go with whatever I'm making, which I think I'm making a cauliflower rice with mushrooms and asparagus and super yum. That'll be after my salad, actually. After my smoothie. And then there we go. Ready to go for smoothie time. Smoothie time. Who else is having your smoothie today? Comment below. Let me know you had your smoothie. But it also is nice if you take the Mexican spice when you're doing your Mexican flavors and just sprinkle it on top. Okay. And then when, you know, you're biting that and it's like, oh, that's nice. So there you go. And it's nice and warm, so during these cooler months, it's nice and warm in the kitchen. In the summer, I would probably do this stuff overnight. Let it run overnight, because it's gonna warm up things a little bit. I mean, it's just 1:15, so it's not hot. I'm able to pull this out while it's going. Oh, it smells so good. That's the other thing. It's gonna smell super yummy. And your family will be like, ooh, yum, what's that? And they'll want to taste it. All right, for anybody new to dehydrating, you grab an extra mesh sheet. And when it looks like it's ready to flip, it's not too wet anymore, it's kind of peeling back pretty well. You just put that mesh second tray on top and you flip it. That's the exciting part. Woo! And then you peel back that top sheet. So my top ones were pretty thin. My Mexican ones were pretty thin. I'm just gonna toss this. The easiest way I've found to clean these, because they have like little blobs of goop, flax goop, is just sticking them in soapy water and let them soak for at least a few minutes, probably longer, and it comes off really easy. Sometimes it does the work for you and you can just like wipe it and rinse it. All right, so here we go. Now that sheet is gone, and I'm sticking this back in for a couple more hours to finish. And these top ones did get done earlier than 5 hours. They were like 3 hours. This is what it looks like when it first comes out of the dehydrator. And then chopped into little pieces, broken into little pieces, pulled out the guacamole. Oh yeah, ready to eat. So they've turned out really good, really yummy, and taste test. Did you hear that crunch? They've turned out very crunchy, very crispy, a lovely chip. And then any of the thicker ones, which the chipotle ones turned out thicker, so they work well as a cracker. Highly recommend to try for an easy, healthy snack. Bye for now.